Hi everyone. I would say I like to see this card coming up more than any other card. And the reason I'd say that is because it is something where it shows that we are at crossroads in life. It's a wake-up call. It's something that's really in a place and in a space where I would actually say would give you some definite guidance about the many choices that you have to be strong. For this to actually be, I would say, one of the biggest long-term cards. So whatever you're doing right now will probably have the biggest effect over the longest period of time. All right? Judgment card means a lot more than that. But do remember that one. Wonderful. A wake-up call, our spiritual evolution. And it's about life giving us an upgrade. So it's a call to rise above your past and embrace a bolder future. That's the energy of the Judgment card. It's one of the most powerful cards in the Major Arcana Tarot deck. For those of you that may not know me, hi, my name is AnneMarie. Welcome to my channel, Tarot with AnneMarie. And today we're diving into the Judgment card. I'll share its core meanings with you and its symbolism and explain how to interpret it in things such as a reading that may be based on love, career, and personal growth. So the basics. Judgment is about an awakening, a rebirth, an absolution, and an answering to a higher calling. Think of one of those aha moments, and that is the kind of changes of how you are going to see yourself in the world. There are some key sort of phrases, such as self-reflection, transformation, forgiveness, new beginnings, leveling up, crossroads, that's a big one, and letting go. I think one of the biggest things that would be helpful is for you to be able to look at the fact that this is about embracing your biggest potential and making significant transitions. And that's because this is a time of getting your hard work acknowledged. So it's a bit like it's not so much the reward, it's a bit more like it's the rewards for where you've got to now. Now, where do you want to go next? And don't think about it as in how it's going to affect you in a week, a day. You need to think about it as in how it's going to affect you in the long-term future, decades, not just one decade, several. So it's a card of definitely letting go of old baggage and accepting your true self and embracing a strong and bolder version of you. It appears when we're facing resistance towards change, maybe we've been self-sabotaging, maybe we've been looking over our shoulder and regretting things, or being really harsh in our criticism of ourselves. And that can hinder our progress. So you've got to look at what part of you is being awakened. Maybe you need to actually look at forgiveness, either for yourself or for others. Sometimes you've got to forgive yourself for the fact that you did the best that you could with the tools that you had there and then at that time. And that's, if it was this, if it was that. No, you've got to look at the fact that really you had what you had, difficult choices. Don't forget that this is card number 20, and that governs the Judgment card, and it represents the effort that we put into stabilizing our life's events, and it serves as a point of transition and renewal. And of course, the number 20 is 2 plus 0, which comes down to 2. When we're doing numerology, it's always good to actually look at the fact that we bring everything down to under 9. So whatever number you've got, you're always adding it together to get a single number. Here's the number itself has the power to transform oneself. It turns events around us and fills us with anticipation. And it's highlighting the importance of analysis in enabling shifts and conscientiousness and getting ready to realize that change is coming. And none of us really like change, do we? We all could do without it. The Judgment card's ruled by Pluto, big old planet. And Pluto is also associated with Scorpio. So it's going to be deep, and it's going to be something that we are going to feel with great intensity. Let's look at the card. In this card, we've got an archangel descending from the heavens and blowing the trumpet, and probably giving us a message that there's the arrival of something really important. And meanwhile, in the graveyard below, oh dear, we can see people rising from the coffins with their hands raised to greet that divine messenger. And these individuals are open-hearted and prepared for whatever may come. And they feel the truth, and they feel the changes, and they're happening on all levels. The Judgment card represents the idea of evolving, and the essence of Judgment precedes the creation of our true selves. It guides us back to our spiritual inner being, freeing up our spirit, and it's a kind of power and strength, but in a very different way, not like the Strength card. It's about, where am I going? What am I going to do? How am I going to get there? I'm based on the past. You know what? Better let go of that and make a decision. There's more than one decision. Yeah, this is a beautiful card. It really is. It always makes us feel that, you know what? We've got choices, and we can be in charge of those choices. And we've got more that when we've got choice, we can feel in control. And it's a bit like weighing up. If I do this now, I'm going to get to that later. And that's why I'm saying, when a reader, always look at this as where you're going now and decisions you're making now will have a long-term effect. And that's not, be careful, like saying there's a storm coming and it's going to get you. It's not that at all. It's much more about, here you go, you know what? Be kind to yourself, look at what you want, look at how you're going to get there, and look at the fact that the results will come good for you. And this is your planning of how your strategy is in life in the next long-term future, as I said, decades. But we're measured by who we are rather than what we're doing in the past. And the process of the Judgment card leads us to the cleansing of our soul, and where we hold ourselves accountable for past actions and views. And so this allows us to evolve and to grow. And the Archangel is a highly ranked angel who appears to warn and tell us that God's presence is in our lives. So that's what the message is. This divine brings moments of clarity, truth, and revelation. From a more down-to-earth perspective, the angel, or the archangel, can represent moments of realization and understanding that come from our subconscious mind. It's where the pieces of a puzzle in our life start to fuse together, a bit like jigsaw puzzle. These celestial beings are tasked with working with humanity and bring big inspirational message from within us or from above. Angels are not believed to come down to earth for trivial reasons. They're only supposed to be intervening when they feel that it's necessary or that they've been called upon. And we can call upon them any time, by the way. But this is him appearing, perhaps without us asking. And they can appear at a time when our inner or outer spiritual revelations really, we need to see a glimmer of something beyond the reality of the material world that allows us to be much more aware of our true selves. And archangels are God's soldiers who oversee the excellent path of the spirit during life and after death. They also weigh the soul after death to determine its fate. Now, there's a big argument about which archangel this actually is. Maybe you'd like to actually share your thoughts on that. I'm going to carry on, and then I'm going to reveal a little bit more in a bit. What have we got? We've got definitely spirit guides coming in through the Judgment card as archangels. And It's always to do with some huge or significant transformation of individuals. Sometimes it can happen to countries, sometimes it can be global. And an archangel coming in acts as a signpost, controlling energy that directs our life. And we cannot demand judgment from them. It's not something that they have the capacity to do. It's not like going to the high priestess or the hierophant. Judgment is not sought. It's hidden. And we're just being given a glimmer of something to show us the way. So judgments are a call from within and often comes really unexpectedly, and we don't even realize that we need it. And when something more significant is within us, maybe it's karma, fate, or the universe deciding that, hey, you know what, it's time to actually change this up a little. Judgment comes into action, and the angel appears in a pastel blue, light turquoise outfit, symbolizing healing, of course, patience, serenity, understanding, and also blue is the throat chakra. The archangel's wings are pink and lilac. I, I look at this all the time and I still go, okay, it's not something that immediately dawns on me, but that symbolizes tranquility. Now that dawns at me, and spirituality. So it's a very gentle sort of, you almost, without having to look at the details in this card, you can feel it. And the archangel is calm, accepting, passionate. He seeks so that we can awaken, and he encourages us to make the changes that we need for rebirth. And that's not about in a religious sense, that's not what we're talking about. It's challenging, as I said, to know which angel this is. He might be Archangel Michael, that's my vote. And it's possible that he's Metatron. Who is this angel that's blowing the trumpet? Could be Uriel or even Gabriel, the voice of God bringing good news. But from my studies in all of the really serious tarot experts that I've had the privilege of being in seminars with, or being a pupil of theirs, a student of theirs for workshops, no matter how short it was, whenever this card was discussed, they all said it was Archangel Michael. And I happen to actually feel the same, but I thought it's perhaps irrelevant really, but I like to tell you. Now, the angel's trumpet. Why a trumpet? It's because he is blowing that trumpet to say, wakey, wakey, it's your spiritual awakening. It's a wake-up call. It's time to let go of all the emotional stuff and all that baggage that's holding you up. It's no longer serving a purpose. And you cannot progress while we've learned everything from a situation or from a belief, and we must discard it and let go. And this card signifies reaching a definite stage or a milestone in our journey, not just in our life, but in some really big specific challenges. It's time to reflect and to embrace a new version of yourself, which will impact all aspects in your life. By the way, trumpets historically have been associated with war. So it's a bit like the sound to call to battle. But it's also seen as a wake-up call, and blowing that trumpet to bring our grey figures in the graveyard scene below back, wake them up from the dead, so that it's symbolic of, you know what, you're a long time dead. What are you doing? There's no colour in your life. There's no direction. I'm here to actually guide you. And the sound can be seen as a battle cry from your spiritual soldier or from your subconscious, which might indicate that something is vibrating and stirring within you. The fact that the trumpet is gold, we can look at that symbolically as a connection between the physical and the spiritual worlds, as quite often the two do actually intersect. And gold also represents a higher level of consciousness. And we've got the trumpet on the card, and it's got a flag with a red cross. That's where we get the crossroads from. But that flag with the red cross on a white background, a flag is a way of communicating a message, often indicating our intent and our status and our power and our authority. And in this case, it's linked to the trumpet's message. The cross can symbolize the resurrection of Christ, as in Easter, perfect time for this, which fits this card's theme. However, it is a square cross. That cross could be the cross of Christ, but it's a square cross, isn't it? It's not quite like we're used to seeing as in our religious sort of images of a crucifix. The equalness of that cross actually has to represent the fact that it's balance and peace. The cross and its colours obviously indicates something, and that's a union of opposites, and it's required to accomplish a task. The red is symbolic for passion, bravery, life, while the white represents innocence and, of course, purity. And this suggests that all spiritual changes are reflected in the physical and vice versa. The cards angel flag and the trumpet. So we've got the angel, we've got the trumpet, we've got the flag. All of those things combined symbolize that we are given unconditional love from the universe. And this prompts us to fulfill that inner urge to balance our physical. And that's very genuine, coming from our support, as is seen in the Judgement card, where we are actually being given a helping hand or a friend or being carried by the divine sort of presence of archangels that can actually help us in our beautiful path, which is our spiritual life. And it's a reminder that none of it's real. It's all to do with your perspective. And it's a reminder that your authentic self needs to be heard. So that's also the trumpet. You need to listen. That's what it's saying. So the trumpet is a call to signifying time to rise and be your true self and to find your own identity. It's really important sometimes that we actually look at things and go, hold on a minute, stop judging yourself, which is where the card name, obviously. This is life and what matters today. Yeah, sure, you can worry about it and have anxieties, but really we are just much more than the material world and much more than just flesh and bones, aren't we? In the distance, we can see that there are icy mountains. They represent, of course, challenges, and they indicate that the message from the angel can help us in the face of difficulties, but we can't expect that they are going to disappear entirely. So it means the white is we're getting a little bit of support. The actual mountains represent the fact that those are challenges. And then we've got a new day dawning, giving us complete fresh perspective on things. It shows it may not be easy. We're encouraged to face those challenges. Go ahead and look at the wisdom that we can gain. The coffins symbolize our subconscious mind and our inner self, represented by the floating or the sitting in water. Sky is blue, which suggests a sense of calmness. For those that find themselves in coffins, this is just the depths of surrounding waters, which is just evoking their darker thoughts and showing that they're worried, thinking about things when it comes to looking at the future. So it's just symbolic of that. And if we look, it's like it's showing that they must swim or they must wade through their emotions if they're called back to life. The coffins represent endings, but they're also open. Can you see that? And that means they offer hope. So they signify that situations can be fixed and that there is a chance to make things right. So this is a card that does not indicate physical death, but spiritual transformation and personal growth. And it's the beginning of a new chapter, after which a judgment is obviously inevitable. And once we've learned a profound lesson it'll stay with us forever. Our future is built on our past, and the coffins are meant for burying the dead, but that's just symbolic of starting a new life. So the old aspect of ourself is no longer serving us, and it should be buried with respect, and that we are then able to go ahead. The fact that they are unclothes is symbolic of innocence and transparency. And also, if we're wearing clothes, it is seen symbolically as tying us to our past. So yeah, there's some beautiful things going on there. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to give you some keywords. Quite a lot going on there with judgment. So the message really is about encouraging us to be true to ourselves, to embrace our authenticity, and not to carry guilt or burdens that are associated with what we have done and what we have failed to do. It's a time to actually align ourselves, be a much better version of ourselves as we gain the valuable lessons in life, and we're offered choice. And that helps us to mature mentally and emotionally. And so this can certainly indicate that a long-standing situation is ending, and that we are coming forwards into some new experiences in our lives. It can make us feel reborn and make us feel that we're being given another chance. I'm going to say, folks, I'm going to say that this was a much shorter one tonight, just due to the nature of the card. I'll see you next week, and we will carry on moving through the major arcana cards. Don't forget, you can actually purchase the courses on the website, tarotwithannemarie.com. And yeah, it's all about tarot. So if you are wanting to improve your skills with tarot, go and have a look at those. There's something there for everybody, taking you right up to professional level if that's what you wish to do. Have a beautiful weekend. Until next time, bye.
Good, Peter.